It's Season of Discovery time, and today we're going to be looking at Rogue DPSs. Yes, not Rogue Tanks, Rogue DPS this time. By the way, before we get started, please do click that subscribe button because about 95% of you are not currently subscribed. First thing I want to show you is the Rogue DPS's stat priority. Number 1 is going to be attack power, second being agility, third being crit chance, fourth being hit chance, and fifth being strength. As I said, number 1 and 2 are going to be attack, power, and agility, and this is what you're going to be finding most on the gear that we're going to be using up to level 25. Hit and crit chance are really good stats as well, but the actual likelihood of us finding any gear with this on at this level is actually fairly low. And then another one that isn't on here, but you should still consider, is stamina. This actually is going to give you more health, and although it's not our top 5 priority, it is going to help you stay alive for longer because a dead DPS is 0 DPS. Looking at race choices, if you're Alliance, I would say to go with Human for the weapon skills bonus, and in Classic Era WoW, this is really, really important, especially in Season of Discovery where we're going to be limited by our level. If you are then going over to the Horde side, one I seem to be recommending a lot in all of my Season Discovery guides is Troll due to their berserking buff. Another one could be Orc on the Horde side with their Blood Fury racial, which is going to increase base melee attack power while reducing healing effects on yourself. So let's look at the most exciting bit in Season of Discovery, which is, of course, what runes are we going to be using. Now, there are a few different builds that you can use for Rogue in Season of Discovery, but I'm only going to be covering one today, and that is Saber Slash. Why, you may ask? Because I believe this is the best build that you should be going with in Phase 1. So the first one we're going to be using here is Deadly Brew. This is going to grant several new improvements to your poisons. When you inflict with any other poison onto your target, you are actually then going to also inflict deadly poison onto that target. If your weapon doesn't have a poison on it, then it's going to have a chance at inflicting instant poison as if instant poison was on your weapon, if that makes sense. And then deadly poison and instant poison now gain increased damage from your attack power as well. The second one is going to be Saber Slash, and this is fantastic. This is going to do 130% weapon damage and cause a bleed on your target. This can also stack up to 3 times, and it's going to award 1 combo point every time you use it. One other thing to add on Saber Slash is that it is going to benefit from any talents and effects, etc., that actually normally benefit Sinister Strike. Last but not least is going to be Envenom, and this is going to be our finisher. It's a finishing move that deals poison damage, and then after, you've got a much higher frequency of actually applying poison. So basically, after you've used Envenom, there is a 75% chance, or should I say 75% increased frequency of when you're going to be applying those poisons to your enemy. And then this is going to act out for an extra second per combo point that you're using on this finishing move. Like I said, the Saber Slash build is looking to be the best build for Season of Discovery Phase 1, and that's down to a few reasons. To put it really simply, we're putting all of our damage into 16 talent points that are actually going to add to our damage, where some of the other classes, we're having to spend points where we don't really want them just to get to other talents, etc. And we've also managed to utilize 2 of our best DPS runes that you can actually get in Phase 1, which is the Deadly Brew and Saber Slash. Looking at the talents we're actually going to use then, this is the build here, and you can see pretty much most of it, nearly all of it, is actually going into Assassination. So on the top row, we're going to take 5 out of 5 points in Malice, and this is going to increase our crit chance by 5%. On the second row, starting from the left, we're going into Ruthlessness, giving our finishing moves a 60% chance to add a combo point to our target, and that is at a 60% proc chance, remember, with 3 points in there. Then we're going to go put 2 points into Murder, which is going to increase all damage caused against humanoid, giant, beast, and dragonkin targets by 2%, so 1 for each point. We're going to put 3 points, this is on the third row, Lethality, increases the critical strike damage bonus of your Sinister Strike, Gouge, Backstab, Ghostly Strike, and Hemorrhage by 18%. And lastly, we're going to put our last point in Assassination into Relentless Strikes, where our finishing moves have a 20% chance per combo point to restore 25 energy. Relentless Strikes is, putting it simply, too good not to have. It is fantastic. It's basically going to result in us getting a ton of energy back when we're spending from our combo points. And then, of course, that equals more abilities because we've got more energy. More abilities equal more damage. It's a pretty simple way to look at it. If we did then go through like the combat tree, etc., we're just getting too many points that aren't really doing anything. And this is why I think that the Saber Strikes build is going to, Saber Slash build is going to be the best DPS output for you in phase 1 of Season of Discovery. We are, however, going to put 2 points in combat into improved Sinister Strike, which is going to reduce the cost of it by 5. And don't forget that when we're using our Saber Slash rune, this is also going to benefit from that talent, because the Saber Slash rune, as I said earlier, is actually going to benefit from anything that impacts our Sinister Strike, including talents. If you're looking at what weapon to use, you would then choose a slow, believe it or not, sword, mace, or fist weapon, and we would want to prefer this at being a speed of 2.5 or slower, meaning that we're going to have better Saber Slash damage. And that is for your main hand weapon specifically, not your offhand. And then on your offhand, you're going to kind of want, I would say, as fast as possible, because that one is the one that's actually going to be helping improve your poison damage. For your combo point builder then, we're basically going to throw our Sinister Strike, throw it in the bin, and completely replace it with Saber Slash. And then on our actual combo point spender, it's going to be Envenom. But I will say, if you are in a group with a feral druid who's using the Mangle rune, which is going to give everyone in the party a damage buff, to put it simply, then you're actually going to want to use Rupture instead, because that is going to benefit from the feral druid's Mangle rune buff on the party. And then if you are wondering, how many combo points should I be spending my finisher at, it's basically just going to be at the 5 combo point range. One other thing then that we can use as a utility outside of that rotation is our Vanish, if we are actually getting threat on us that we don't want. And then to put it again, just really simply, the rotation is going to be, it's going to be Saber Slash, using that on cooldown. That's going to be our combo point builder. Then we're going to be using Envenom as our finisher. But if there is a feral druid in the group with the Mangle rune, then you can actually switch to Rupture instead of Envenom. And that is pretty much it. That is how you are going to play as a rogue in phase 1 of Season of Discovery.